I love that shot, actually.
Amen.
Sincere in their faith. No.
The thing about my grandfather's church was you didn't have to be a professional to participate. In fact, they recruited me at 5, 6, 7 years old. And my feet couldn't reach the pedals on the organ. I couldn't reach the piano. Everything was too big for me. But they found a way for me to participate. They handed me a tambourine. And they said, play this tambourine. And I remember those days so vividly because I felt like I could contribute something to the worship service. And I wasn't just sitting down being told to be quiet. I was actually giving something to God, to the church community. I didn't have words for it back then, but I was just grateful to participate. What that put inside of me was this excitement to go to church and to participate in God's family. And I just remember being, my grandfather's church is a really small church, probably 50 people at max. And my cousins were there singing, my grandfather was up there singing, my mom was leading the choir, and I was related to 50% of the people in the room. And I just remember having a blast. We would eat afterwards, and we would have church in the morning for hours. I mean, the service was long. And then we would eat, probably take a little nap, maybe do a little math homework, and then go back to church. And right now, that would almost feel like abuse to some people. Like, what? Why are you in church that long? But it was family, it was fun, I had everything I need, I felt safe, I felt secure, and I learned the word of God. And you know, pros and cons to every situation. I don't think I have 2 young children right now, and I don't know how I would keep them in church that long. But what it instilled in me, like I mentioned, when I got into a relationship with Jesus myself, I had a well to pull from. A well of Bible teaching, a well of spiritual encounters, a well of hearing the voice of God and participating in the family of God. And I think that's why I still think of church as fun. I don't know if people do that anymore, but I still think church is one of the most fun places to be. And I hope that church doesn't become for people younger than me, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, where they don't feel like they can enjoy church. Because I did. I had a lot of fun.